You want a one-week focus. You want to be able to put all your energies into defeating that opponent that week with no other distraction. And if you can do that 8 times, then you do run the table.
Huskies making their way on this the near side of the field, wearing the maroon jerseys, maroon helmets and pants, and gold numerals and trim. And Lock Haven making their way on the far side of the field. Bald Eagles wearing their white jerseys with the red numerals and red trim. Brand new look for Lock Haven this year with the new coach. The run and shoot has been abandoned. And Andy, we like to always bring up the fact when there's local high school kids on teams, Lock Haven probably has more than any team we're going to see.
Oh, they have a pile of them. Billy Hetler from Berwick, John Gerst out of the Danville program, out of Bloomsburg High School, Harry Durr. I'm sure I'm missing a few others, but there's a good local flavor. It's a relatively local team that likes to recruit locally, and there's strong talent in this area. And in fact, there's even a local connection with the Bloomsburg coach, Frank Leaks, who had been here last year coaching the secondary, moving over. So we want to see his influence on the team. But the local stars, they've recruited out of Pottsville. They've recruited out of other area schools. And I always think that adds a great interest to a game like this, which is somewhat of a local rivalry.
Well, the run and shoot has been known as a system that can get you a lot of points but doesn't win anything, doesn't win the championships. And yet, if defensive coaches have their druthers, they would rather not play against the run and shoot. Bloomsburg, for the first time since I can remember, is not playing against a Lock Haven team that's going to throw it all over the field. They do have a quarterback in Carlos Cleckley who can run the football. He's a junior out of Beaver Falls, does not have a lot of experience, is hitting on 50% of his passes on the season so far, a couple of touchdowns and 2 interceptions, but we may see some option today from Lock Haven.
I think we will. I watched them warm up with the option. It certainly does pose a threat, but don't discount the passing game. The early numbers in this season really don't show what this team can do. They're somewhat unknown opponents. A Division I in Delaware State, as you mentioned, runs over them, then a Keene out of New Jersey. So it's hard to gauge. Carlos Cleckley broke the records of another great out of Beaver Falls when he was in high school. You know whose records he broke?
Yeah, what was the name of that guy?
Joe Willie Namath. And I was watching him throw in the warm-ups, and he was very, very impressive. And he has a great receiver, Brian McGinty, who we've mentioned. All sorts of records. Last year, he was 8th in the nation in receiving, 62 catches for 1,081 yards, and he's not even leading the team this year. Jeremy Burkett has 7 catches and better numbers. So they're going to try to mix it around a little bit, try to establish a run with that option. The one thing that hurts Lock Haven in the initial series of Nick Polk, is that they don't have the talent for the system by what was left to them. They don't have tight ends. They don't have running backs. That wasn't part of the run and shoot. So now when you come in, all you have is your very young recruits that you hope to build for the future to set up your system.
Mark Finelli is the referee for today's game. Edward Tucker, the umpire. The linesman is Timothy O'Hara. Jeffrey Woods is the line judge. The field judge is John Loftus. Joseph Spiker is the back judge. The game clock will be operated by Robert Dillon, and Norman Garfield has the 25-second clock. Lock Haven won the toss, deferred to the second half. They'll be kicking off. Bloomsburg receiving and moving from our right to our left as we view things here in the first half. This ball game is underway. Low line drive kick. We feel by one of the Huskies up at the 18-yard line. Ron Loco on the return over the 30 out to the 33-yard line. Loco brought down by Smith Fatal, who will play some secondary for Lock Haven defensively this afternoon. So the Huskies will get it first and 10 at their own 33-yard line. The defense for Lock Haven across the front. Mark Williams and John Gerstis, junior out of Danville at the ends. John McDowell and Matt Hendricks at the tackles. The linebackers, Brad Caldwell, Jeremy Krills, and Corey Jacobs. Bill Hetler from Berwick, bothered by a shoulder problem. We'll see him probably before the day's out, but he's not in that starting lineup. We'll check the secondary after this. Bloomsburg first and 10 at their own 33. Sigler is the tailback in the I formation. First play from scrimmage, he gets the call. Big hole up the left side and slips and falls at the 40-yard line, or he may have gone a long way. 7 yards as it is. Eric Zachman covered him there. Zachman is a senior cornerback. He and Angelo Maltar are the corners. Rashid Rogers, the strong safety and the leading tackler on this team. And Ben Steinbacher, a talented junior out of Montoursville High School, is the free safety. Second down and 3. Huskies almost broke a big one on the first play. Again, the I formation behind McNamee. Sean Smith wide to the near side of the field. McNamee, though, rolling right. Fires to the sideline, has his man, Ron Loco, and Loco ridden down over midfield at the Lock Haven 47. Angelo Moltera, 13 yards on the reception. 1st and 10, Bloomsburg at the Lock Haven 47 on a delay. Sigler has the ball and has some running room. Turns it outside at the 40 and is ridden down at the 35-yard line of Lock Haven. Herb Sigler off to a good start. Angelo Moltera and Ben Steinbacher combine the stop. Andy, through the first 2 games of the season for Lock Haven, 3 of their top 4 tacklers are in the secondary. That's not a good sign.
Well, they've been playing some pretty strong opposition. It's a very, very young defense. It shows aggressiveness in the secondary, but when people back there are making the hits, it means you're being beaten up front.
13 yards on the carry by Sigler. 1st and 10, Huskies at the Bald Eagle 34. Loco wide to the left, Smith wide to the right. Long count by McNamee. He takes the snap and he's back to throw, and he's looking long for Loco, and he's got a step, and Loco makes the catch and gets inside the 5-yard line. Eric Sackman on the stop. Loco and Smith, the Bloomsburg wide receivers coming from opposite sides of the field, almost ran into each other. In fact, it was hard to say who caught the ball. Loco came down with it at the 4, 1st and goal.
McNamee decided to audible. He saw that they can beat coverage. He was yelling out to Loco. Smith on the opposite side probably didn't hear the audible and ran the normal route originally called in the huddle, therefore the near collision.
30 yards on the reception. 1st and goal, Bloomsburg at the Lock Haven 4. Loco in motion to the right side. Sigler, the tailback. John Johnson, the fullback, gets the call straight up the gut, and Johnson just short of the Lock Haven goal line. Matt Hendricks, 6'4", 265-pound sophomore tackle out of DuBois, makes the stop. But Bloomsburg on their first possession of the ball game, just inches from the Lock Haven goal line.
Great drive, mixing the run and the pass, and now the power run of the fullback. 231-pounder. He might get a crack again. Nice seam over the right guard that time. Watch from up front of the side.
Double tight end alignment. Loco in motion to the left. Sigler, the tailback, gets the call off the left side, lowers the shoulder, and gets in for Bloomsburg. Touchdown. Herb Sigler in for the score, and the Huskies with the early lead.
Nice drive. 2 passes, 4 runs, going well. There is a flag, though, and it seems to be against the Huskies, Jim. Let's take that one off the scoreboard. Motion call against the Huskies.
It'll bring the ball back to the 6-yard line and bring up a 2nd down and goal. So Sigler was able to get in for the touchdown off the left side, but a motion call against Bloomsburg. So the Huskies will have to try it from the 6 on a 2nd down.
Going against a goal line defense stacked up against a run, probably man-to-man coverage. While they feel they have the power, they've been opening seams in other areas of the field. Here in the red zone, it's tougher when things are stacked against the power run.
Again, I formation. Loco goes in motion to the right, then reverses his field, comes to the left, and the give off the left side is to Herb Sigler. Sigler lowers his shoulder. Sigler's in for the touchdown. Herb Sigler in for the score, his 5th rushing TD of the season, and the Huskies with the lead.
Oh, just powerful blocking off the left side. Tim Bear fronted his man and drove the defensive tackle into the end zone. Tremendous seam created off the left side. Mark Viceni opening things up, leading with Johnny Johnson, and he was able to take it easily. Different look for the Huskies here, Jim.
Yeah.
Move the team over.
They have 7 players lined up over to the left and just 4 to the right, and they do snap it, and Loco takes the snap and fires into the end zone, and coming back to try to make the catch, and doing so is Randy Davidson for the 2-point conversion. The Huskies with some trickery on the extra point attempt, and they go up 8-0. Time on the field, 11:53 to go in the first quarter. We'll be back in 30 seconds. Ball game for Bloomsburg University junior Ron Loco. In the Huskies' first possession, he catches passes of 13 and 30 yards, helping Bloomsburg put together a scoring drive. And then on the extra point attempt, as the holder, he takes the snap and throws the pass to Randy Davidson, who makes a terrific diving catch in the end zone. And the Huskies off to a quick 8-0 pad with 11:53 still remaining in period number 1.
Almost by design, he was the man who received the opening kickoff as well. A lot of touches on that ball.
John Emp will kick off for the Huskies. His kick is high and deep, will be filled by Harris, the 5-yard line to the 10. 10, to the 15, to the 20, over the 25, to the 30, and finally ridden down over the 35 out at the 37-yard line. So good return, and Lock Haven in terrific position to start this drive.
Steve Foster, playing the safety, eventually worked his way over and stopped it, so it was an excellent return. Got behind the wall of blockers going up his own sideline, and Foster has to shut that down late.
Lock Haven with a 1st and 10. They have it at their own 38-yard line. First possession of the ball game for the Bald Eagles, as Carlos Cleckley, a junior out of Beaver Falls who threw only 6 passes a year ago, directs the attack. I formation behind him, and a slot to the right side. Cleckley fumbles the snap. The scramble is on, and Lock Haven able to keep the football. It's a tough way to start an afternoon of offense for Lock Haven. A fumble on the snap.
And Cleckley got down on the own fumble. I think he's hurrying to get out of there. It looked like they wanted to roll and do some throwing right off. The first play does go awry. That handicaps them, setting up the second and a little bit longer than the 10.
Bloomsburg defensively across the front with Josh Klein and Jeremy Grimm at the ends. Gary Fittery and Jason Grimm at the tackles. Matt Romano, Alec Wiley, Frank Babula at the linebackers. The corners, Derek Lynch, Jay Zaransky. The safeties, Amani Hammond, Ben Hennikel. 2nd down and 11 call. They're going to option left side, and Cleckley, the quarterback, will keep the football, and Alec Wiley and Frank Babula will have none of it. Gary Fittery there as well. Huskies defense it well. They'll lose yardage on the play. Down and 12 Bald Eagles. A.J. Anderson, Willie Kitt are the running backs. Cleckley sets him down at the 36, takes the snap, and he rolls right, looking to throw. Burkett is covered well. Cleckley in trouble, then fires the pass incomplete. Boy, that was great coverage downfield. Burkett was the intended receiver originally, and so Monty Hammond just had him smothered. And they went to the tight end, Koontz. He was covered as well. Good defensive series by the Huskies. 4th down, Lock Haven.
And there was pressure as well. Defensively, I believe it was Josh Klein and Matt Romano in the area able to stop that. He was not going to be able to run it. He was not going to be able to pass it.
Now Lock Haven, Cliff Benoist, a sophomore out of East Pennsboro, back to punt, standing back at his 22-yard line. Homer Delaterre with the snap, and the kick is away. And Sean Smith at his 31-yard line. Turns the corner at the 35, skips a tackle at the 40, and is ridden out of bounds about the 42-yard line by Eric Zachman. So Bloomsburg will get the ball. Huskies on their first possession, an impressive scoring drive. 10:07 to go in the first quarter. Bloomsburg leads it 8-0.
First drive, they mixed the pass and the run. 2 completed passes, both to Ron Lelko in only the 2 attempts. Irv Ziegler has 25 yards on 3 carries, and John Johnson did some nice power running down inside the 5.
At the 41-yard line, McNamee sets him down. Ziegler is the tailback in the I formation. Ron Loco splits wide to the right side, and McNamee is rolling that way. Looking for Loco. Fires to the sideline. Loco has it, gets out of bounds. First down in Lock Haven territory. Brett Umbenhauer makes the stop. But boy, those timing plays that McNamee and his high school teammate Ron Loco have down the sideline, very tough to defend.
Well, the fact is he can go deep, so if you play him too tight and he blows by you, you're going to give up the quick touchdown. So he comes blowing down now, and then a quick square out to the sideline. The ball is right on the money as he's making the turn. It's unstoppable unless you cheat up.
Bloomsburg at the Lock Haven 48-yard line after the 11-yard pass reception to Loco. McNamee takes the snap, gives on a delay to Irv Ziegler. At the 45, runs over a tackler there, and then is stood up at the 42 and bounced back. Rashid Rogers making the play from his strong safety position. Brad Caldwell there as well. Rogers is the leading tackler on the team. In fact, the first 2 games, 19 tackles, 4 of them for a loss. He also has an interception. He's a 5'11", 195-pound junior out of Hartfield, Pennsylvania.
He's aggressive, listed as a strong safety, so he's often cheating up almost like a linebacker when he tries to play the run. Huskies, though, make things difficult. It's hard to be too aggressive because of the passing game, plus you have to play the draw very honestly, so aggressiveness can hurt you against this team.
6 yards in that carry. Bloomsburg at the Lock Haven 42-yard line. Loco wide to the right side. Again, the give to Ziegler off the right. He's got lots of running room. Irv Ziegler down to the 30-yard line. Well, that offensive front doing a terrific job. Brad Caldwell Caldwell finally makes the stop from his linebacker position for the Bald Eagles. But Irv Ziegler off to a great start. 12 yards there. 1st and 10 Huskies at the Bald Eagle 30.
I have him with 5 carries for 42 yards, and they are making it look easy. Fine blocking up front. The action was the counter tray action going off the right side.
Lelko wide to the right. Smith wide left. McNamee on the snap. Rolling right. Looking downfield. Long for Lelko in the end zone over the shoulder. Grab for a touchdown. McNamee right on target to Ron Lelko. 30 yards for the score.
The cornerback was worried about the square route. He didn't want to give up another 12-yard pass, so now you break it deep. McNamee had the timing. Beautiful pass over the shoulder. Lelko only had a step on the cornerback, who still was able to stay with the speedy receiver downfield, but beautifully delivered in the only place it could be caught, and they make it look easy. 4 pass completions, all to Lelko.
So Bloomsburg, 2 possessions, 2 scores. Tom Boop, the freshman from Berwick, will attempt the extra point. His kick is up, and his kick is good. Timeout on the field. 8:42 to go in the first quarter of play with the score. Bloomsburg 15 and Lock Haven nothing. There was any hangover from the loss at Indiana last night for the Bloomsburg University football team. It hasn't shown in this ball game this afternoon. Huskies very, very sharp in the early going. 2 possessions, 2 scores, a good defensive stand. 15-0 they lead. 8:42 remaining in the first quarter.
2 very noticeable, unstoppable forces for the offense. Irv Ziegler with 5 carries for 42 yards. Ron Lelko, all 4 receptions on the 4 passes attempted by McNamee, 84 yards in total.
John Epp will kick off for the Huskies. Lock Haven got a good return the first time. This time, M's kick will go to Smith Vital, the 3-yard line. To the 10, cuts it to the outside, to the 15, turns the corner at the 20, and cut down the open field at the 22-yard line. Casey Knighting doing a good job on the kick team for Bloomsburg, making the tackle in the open field. So Lock Haven gets the football for the second time. It was 3 and out for the Bald Eagles the first time around. Cleckley, the quarterback, he's got a slot to the right side in an I formation. First down call from the 22-yard line. He's back to throw, fires the quick out, and it's through the hands of McGinty. Great coverage there by Derek Lynch. Boy, Gary Fitter, who was across that line of scrimmage in a hurry. Cleckley with a quick drop and throw, and still was knocked down by Fittery.
Coming very hard, 3-step and throw, as you mentioned, on what looks like a hitch pass, trying to get that receiver involved in this game. But tremendous pressure straight up. Normally an offensive line will attack on the 3-step drop. Come out, shoot out, and pop almost like a running play before setting up. But there's that time Fittery defeating that man.
A.J. Anderson and Willie Kitt are the backs in an open set. Cleckley gives the ball straight ahead to Kitt, and nothing doing. Brought down right at the line of scrimmage. Bloomsburg defensive unit is a veteran unit. It's a proud unit, and I think they were a little stung by that game last Saturday night.
They were pushed around in the first half. It was a bit of a mismatch. I don't know physically if they had that much of an edge. IUP has great physical specimens and talent, and they're coached excellently. I think a bit overwhelmed by the whole experience of going into that stadium against a team with such a reputation. Until they sort of were able to regain their composure, they were being pushed around. They want to regain some momentum this week.
3rd and 10 for Lock Haven from their own 22. Cleckley back to throw, looking long for McGinty. It's a jump ball situation. It's batted down by Derek Lynch. Lynch gets the best of that one. That is a terrific matchup, and it looks like that's the one we're going to be seeing all afternoon. We talked about McGinty's tremendous numbers for his career, and of course Derek Lynch, a 4-year starter from his cornerback position for Bloomsburg.
And I think we'll see Zamani Hammond leaning toward McGinty because of his career numbers. He's the most dangerous receiver on the field, but Lynch is going to have to play him on the short stuff and deep down the sidelines. It will be one-on-one there.
Cliff Benoist, the sophomore from East Pennsboro, back to do the punting for the Bald Eagles. He's standing back at his own 8-yard line. The snap is a good one, and he gets the kick away. Sails it very, very high, and Sean Smith will field at his own 36-yard line. Gets a good block up the middle to the 40, to the 45, to midfield. Breaks to the open, the 40, the 35, one man to beat. Great move to the 20, the 15, the 10, the 5, and he'll go in for a Bloomsburg touchdown. Sean Smith got some great blocks early and made some great moves later and goes the distance.
only the punter left to beat. They blocked the headhunters who tried to go down and make the tackle initially, and they could not get down. So when he received that rather deep punt, he had some time to look at the field. There are about 5 or 6 tacklers he had to elude initially, but a few quick steps puts him past those people. Then he turns on the speeds. The punter was no match in stopping him.
Now the extra point attempt by Tommy Boop. Made his first attempt today. The snap, the placement, the kick is up, the kick is good. Top of the field, 7:18 to go in the first quarter of play with the score. Bloomsburg 21 and Lock Haven nothing. Weekend number 4 of the 1996 season. Sean Smith's electrifying punt return touchdown is added to the Husky lead. 7:18 remaining first period. 22-0 Bloomsburg. John Imp will kick off. And Smith Fatale up the middle at the 7-yard line to the 10, to the 15, to the 20, and he is gang tackled at the 23-yard line.
Fine speed. Very dangerous in those situations. When he's able to catch the ball and have a little bit of room to maneuver, he's very, very hard to stop. And in open field, when the Jets are turned on full, no single man can bring him down.
From their own 22-yard line, Lock Haven needs to get something going, if nothing else, to just keep that Bloomsburg offense off the field. Willie Kitt gets the call. The big fullback is stood up after a very short gain. He tries the left side. Jay Brook is in there in a linebacker position for the Huskies. 6 foot, 213-pound junior out of Stratford, New Jersey, made the play. There is a flag down, and the referee indicating a face mask against Bloomsburg. 9-yard line, keep it at first down.
Second, I think they're going to call it as after the play,
right.
unless they have the chains wrong.
Right. Second down and about 3. So Lock Haven looking for their initial first down of this first period. Willie Kitt, A.J. Anderson backs in an open set behind quarterback Carlos Cleckley. Anderson gets the call, tries the right side, hit from behind, bounces away, and is brought down short of the first down yards to the 30-yard line. Bloomsburg swarming. Matt Romano leading the way. Senior linebacker at Valley Forge, 6'2", 214-pounder.
Romano played that very well. He sensed it coming to counter Trey action, pulling 2 linemen from the backside on the left and trying to lead them. He has to take on that interference and turn everything to the inside. Took on the blocker, shoved them back toward the running back, creates a jam in there, and then the rest of the defense comes in and helps stop the play.
Well, now they had second down listed on the chains across the way, and they're still at second down.
Changed their mind on that penalty.
As the give is to Kitt, he's brought down. He will not get the first down. Boy, Jeremy Grimm closing quickly from his defensive end position. 6'3", 244-pound senior out of Northampton. Lost for the season after game 3 a year ago at that ACL tear, but has come back strong, and it makes a good defensive play there. They'll actually lose a yard back to the 29. It'll be 3rd down and 3 for Lock Haven.
Grimm playing both left and right defensive end because of the 3-man rotation with Kogod as well as Josh Klein.
Backs in an open set, 3rd and 3. Cleckley back to throw. Big pass rush, gets the pass away to Anderson. Anderson brought down in the open field. Terrific tackle by John Imp. Now in a linebacker, 6 foot, 239-pound sophomore from Troy, makes the stop on a man in the open field.
Ran a little flare pass. In fact, it might have been lateral or sideways. He had to make sure he had the reception, or it might have been construed as a fumble. But great play by the linebacker to mirror that man and catch him in the backfield for a 2-yard loss.
Cliff Benoist back to punt on 4th down for Lock Haven. He's back at his 13-yard line. Snap a little bit low, but he fields it, gets the kick away very, very high, and angles it away from Sean Smith and out of bounds. It's not a long kick, but considering the results of the last Lock Haven punt, it's effective because Smith doesn't get his hands on the ball.
Might see that punter kicking the rest of them out of bounds the rest of the afternoon. Smith is extremely dangerous, coming off the field with his hands open like, what can I do? I wanted to get it, coach. They won't give me the chance.
That's the other weapon, though, Andy. When you have a great punt kick return, you have other teams doing things to keep the ball away from them, and inevitably they give up good field position like right now. Bloomsburg at their own 48. I formation. Sigler at the tail of of the tandem. Rocco wide to the left side. McNamee gives the ball to John Johnson, the fullback, running hard up the gut over midfield to the Lock Haven 47-yard line. Picks up 5 before Brad Caldwell can make the stop defensively for Lock Haven.
I think it's good to see John Johnson get some carries. He's the newcomer in the backfield. Irv Ziegler had a lot of time last year, but John Johnson really didn't come in with that many carries. He's been doing a lot of blocking and a lot of deception with the draw plays. Only 7 carries on the year for 46 yards. Here in this game, that's his second carry for 8 yards.
Randy Davidson wide to the right side. 2nd and 5, Bloomsburg at the Lock Haven 47. Huskies have scored on every possession. The give is to Ziegler. Ziegler has some running room. Up the middle, breaking tackle. Breaks over to the 30, the 25, the 20, the 15, the 10, the 5, and dragged down just short of the goal line. Rasheed Rogers, the strong safety, caught up with Irv Ziegler. It'll be 1st and goal, Bloomsburg at the 1.
Blocked open the seam.
Ziegler, the tailback in the eye. Bloomsburg 1st and goal at the Lock Haven 1. Ziegler gets the call, gets outside left, lowers the shoulder, and gets in for Bloomsburg touchdown. Irv Ziegler off the left side, and Bloomsburg builds the lead.
Crushing block by fullback John Johnson. There was penetration right over the guard, but he met that man and dropped him to the ground. Ziegler then's able to take it wider. He meets resistance at the goal line, but he's able to get the ball to break the plane of the end zone.
So a 3-play drive on Bloomsburg's 3rd possession of this football game. Tommy Boop will attempt the extra point out of the hold of Ron Loco. The placement, the kick is up, and the kick is good. Timeout on the field. 3 minutes, 30 seconds to go in the first quarter of play with the score. Bloomsburg 29 and Lock Haven nothing. Very much, Dave, right here at Bloomsburg University's Redmond Stadium. It's been all Huskies. 3 minutes and 30 seconds to go in this first quarter, and Bloomsburg leading at 29-0. They have scored on all 3 possessions, and they have scored on a long punt return by Sean Smith. John Emp will kick off. The bell rings for every Bloomsburg score. It may be worn out by the end of this day as the kick goes to the far side of the field and gets by the first man. It's fielded down around the 2-yard line and brought down at the 14-yard line is Lock Haven's number 31, Brett Umbenhauer, and he's tackled by Stacy Hoke. So Lock Haven with a poor return, and they'll take over short of their 15-yard line.
I think they were hoping that when it couldn't be fielded in the air, that it would bounce into the goal, but it was losing momentum, and that return man decided to pick it up right about the 1-yard line. Might have wanted to wait just a little bit longer, hoping it would go in for the touchback.
Now Umbenhauer, who he had listed as a defensive back, lines up as the tailback, slot to the left side. Willie Kidd ahead of him in the eye. They're going to option right, and Cleckley keeps the football, and Romano wraps him up. But Carlos Cleckley does get over the 15 to about the 17-yard line. We're going to be a 2nd down and 8 for Lock Haven.
Talking to Frank Leaks before the game, he mentioned the talents of Umbenhauer. He had been in the secondary for a lot of the preseason, played there last year. But because this team had used a run and shoot, they have to adapt players. They had no true tailback. Umbenhauer probably did some of that in high school, decided to try his talent at that position where they haven't really recruited many players. So he's been moved over to the offensive side of the ball.
Well, he's very tiny. 5'8", 165 pounds.
No, he's not, Jim. He's smaller.
2nd down and 8. Cleckley takes the snap, rolls to his left, fires the pass, has his man, McGinney, and McGinney may have the sticks across the way. Ryan McGinty, tremendous pass receiver for Lock Haven, 6'1", 190-pound senior out of Levittown, makes the grab for 8 yards, and Lock Haven with their first down of the ball game at the 25.
Great career at Lock Haven. He's only 20 yards away now from becoming the 9th all-time leading receiver in yardage in the PSAC. 4 more catches will tie him for number 5 in the number of receptions in the PSAC all-time.
The give is to Willie Kitt off the right side, and Matt Romano comes in, brings him down right about the line of scrimmage. Romano off to a great start from his linebacker position. Has played very well in this opening period.
Containing things very well, not letting people get wide of him. That time they would have liked to have tried to take it a little bit wider. He forces it in, then he just bends on down, slides on it, and makes the hit. No gain on that play.
2nd down and 10. Lock Haven with the football at their own 25-yard line. Jeremy Burkett is wide to the right side. McGinty wide left. High formation behind quarterback Carlos Cleckley, who takes the snap, back to throw, has time, fires over the middle, sails it high over the head of the intended receiver at the 42-yard line. That was Brian McGinty. So to bring up a 3rd down and 10 for the Bald Eagles at their 25.
Strong arm by the quarterback. You mentioned Carlos Cleckley is new, replacing McLaughlin. Well, sorts of records in his tenure at Lock Haven. But he has a strong arm. Really drilled that one, but it sailed high on him. McGinty went high, and no way he can get to the ball.
Mike Kogut has just come out of the Bloomsburg lineup. He's alternating at Jeremy Grimm at that defensive end position. Kogut playing with the fractured right wrist. Has a cast, though, that enables him to get a bit of a grip. As it's 3rd and 10, Lock Haven at their 25. Flags fly, and Cleckley back to throw, but it's going to come back.
And a big right tackle, Jeff Remble, broke out of his stance. The linesman kind of got caught off guard, was going to let it go, but he realized, hey, that's movement. It's very visible. We have to throw this flag. So we'll see Lock Haven step back 5 more paces. Jeff, well, the run and shoot is basically passive pass blocking, and that's the system they had been running. Now they have to do drive blocks with running games or work on option blocking systems. An entirely new scheme to learn.
3rd and 15, Lock Haven back at their own 20-yard line. Cleckley rolls right, looking to throw. Has some time, fires it. The ball is picked off at the 38-yard line. Stepping in front of McGinty to make the interception is Derek Lynch. His 2nd interception in the last 2 ball games.
Played it very, very tight. McGinty wanted to come back on a sharp button hook. As he was coming back, Lynch was able to stop as well. The ball was drilled toward the numbers of McGinty, but Lynch steps in front of that and wrestles it away. Outstanding defensive play.
1st and 10, Huskies at the Bald Eagle 28. Closing minutes, 1st quarter. Brett Kozlowski is the tailback, but the call goes to John Johnson, the fullback. He gets outside right, running over people inside the 20-yard line, picks up a 1st down. Smith Matau finally makes the play, but John Johnson running hard for the Huskies.
He wasn't able to be employed as a runner, but now that's his 3rd carry. He has 20 yards.
11 yards on that carry. Kozlowski, the tailback, but again, it's John Johnson. A huge hole up the middle. He rambles inside the 10-yard line. And Brad Caldwell finally tripped him up. But Bloomsburg clearly winning the battle of the trenches. That Husky offensive line opening up big holes. John Johnson was into the secondary before there was a hand on him. Picks up 13 more, 1st and goal.
Right over the left guard, Tim Bear. So Victor Brown and Mark Paceni also on that side doing the job. But as you mentioned, untouched until he's in the secondary. Showed fine speed.
1st and goal at the 4. Johnson again the call. Power straight ahead down to the 2, maybe the 1-yard line. John Johnson, the junior out of Spring Grove, 5'7", 231-pounder. As the clock winding down here, 39 seconds remaining in a 1st quarter that's been completely dominated by the Huskies.
Has been. In fact, I think some of the reason of going to John Johnson is to sort of call off the dogs a little bit. Herb Ziegler not even in the game now. At tailback, we see his backup Kozlowski.
Brett Kozlowski gets the call, tries the right side, looking for the end zone, and gets there. Goes in off the right side, standing up. Kozlowski in for the score, and Bloomsburg remains perfect in this 1st quarter.
1st quarter, and currently 35-0 awaiting the PAT. The offense is just a machine at this point. Great play at the offensive line, super blocking and strong running. Huskies are making this look easy offensively, and defensively they've yet to give up a yard in the rushing game.
Brett Kozlowski's 1st touchdown of the season. And now Tommy Boop will attempt the extra point. Welko does the holding. Long count, snap, placement, kick is up, and the kick is good. Time out of the field, just 16 seconds to go in the 1st half of play. With the score, Bloomsburg 36 and Lock Haven nothing. A reminder at halftime, Dave will be bringing us updated on all the college football scores from across the nation. Right here, Bloomsburg has been as dominant as a team can be. 16 seconds to go in the 1st period. Huskies have scored on all 4 of their possessions. They've also gotten a 64-yard punt return touchdown from Sean Smith, and they lead Lock Haven 36-0. And John F., who's been very, very busy kicking off, does so again. And the line drives it downfield. The ball is tipped away, and Smith Patel has to go back to his 3-yard line. The return to the 5, and really belted out the 12-yard line. There is a couple of flags on the play. Derek Lynch out there making a big hit for the Huskies. Perhaps a face mask against Bloomsburg. We'll wait for the referee to make a call.
You're going to see a face mask on the stiff arm, Jim. The hand of the runner went up to Derek Lynch's. Which way is it pointed?
Now, that only happens at Indiana.
I don't know. That's the way I saw this call.
Well, you don't have the white hat on. A 5-yard face mask against the Huskies, and it'll be out to the 17-yard line where Lock Haven will have it 1st and 10. With just a couple of seconds remaining here in the first period of play. And Bloomsburg has come out and looked very, very sharp. Willie Kitt is the lone running back behind quarterback Carlos Cleckley, who has a slot to the right side. Cleckley takes the snap, and he's back to throw. Now he's rolling to his left. He's going to keep the football, lowers the shoulder, gets over the 20 out to the 22-yard line. You can tell a quarterback who's used to running the football, as Cleckley didn't slide. He lowered the shoulder like a running back. That is the end of the first period of play with the score. Bloomsburg 36 and Lock Haven nothing right here at Redmond Stadium. Bloomsburg University with a terrific first quarter of football. The Huskies with 4 possessions, resulting in 4 touchdowns, combined out with a 64-yard punt return by Sean Smith. Bloomsburg leads it 36-0. We start period number 2 with Lock Haven in possession, moving from our right to our left. They have the ball at their own 22-yard line with a 2nd down and 5. I formation behind quarterback Carlos Cleckley. 2nd down call coming. He tries to hand off to the fullback. Nothing there, so he keeps the football and gets over the 30-yard line for a 1st down. Cleckley went to hand off to Willie Kitt and ran into him, but then bounced away up the middle. He got good yardage before Steve Foster and Ben Hennicle could make the stop. Picks up a 1st down, and there's a flag after the play.
At the point of the tackle, see which way this one does go. Personal foul against Lock Haven, so they're going to march it back 15. Reaction on the play, though. He missed a handoff, as you said, and the Huskies are so aggressive defensively, they went to tackle the potential ball carrier. When the handoff went awry, he just bounced that and showed speed up the middle.
Now the referee steps in and stops play before it can begin. Trying to make sure that everything is set as far as the sticks on the far side.
And they're discussing the situation, the same confusion I had as to what down and where this distance should be with that penalty, whether it occurred during the play or after the play. It will be a 1st and 10.
Lock Haven at their 16-yard line. Backs in an open set. Cleckley takes the snap. He's rolling right, looking to throw. Jeremy Grimm in pursuit, gets away from Grimm, sidesteps him, gets over the 20, out to about the 22-yard line. Gary Fittery makes the stop for the Huskies. Andy, I see how Carlos Cleckley could be an effective quarterback in an option system.
He certainly can. He has great speed and nice reaction. He looks like he'd be able to make fine reads on that as well. But I think the hard part is that the people have been in a different system over the course of their careers here at Lock Haven. They're used to the more passive action and blocking of the run and shoot. They're used to getting yardage through the airways rather than through the ground. So the finesse and the different things, they just don't have all the people in place, and they haven't really gained the mindset for that type of system. But the quarterback is there, and he seems like he can effectively run and engineer a fine option system, and he has the great arm to throw off of that action. Very mobile.
Picks up a 1st down on a personal foul against Bloomsburg after that run by Cleckley. So the Bald Eagles with it at their 37-yard line with a 1st and 10. There's the pitch to Ubenhauer trying to get outside right, looking to turn the corner, and he's ridden out of bounds. Good defensive work by Ben Hennicle coming to make the play for the Huskies.
Nice play with the option. Left-handed pitch that time. It came rather quickly. The read was the man coming down on the quarterback. Took that pitch out to work wide. Steve Foster needed to contain that play, but The receiver was stalk blocking him very effectively. He was able to get wide of Foster and make a couple yards anyway.
2 to the 39-yard line. 2nd down and 8 for Lock Haven. McGinney wide to the left. Steve Foster out on him. Derek Lynch not in the lineup right now. Umbenhauer again, the tailback in the eye. A fake to him, quickly back. He will not get it off. Jay Brook was the first there, but he had plenty of company. Jeremy Grimm coming from his defensive end position as well. So Huskies all over that play. A loss on the part of quarterback Carlos Queckley back to the 31-yard line. 8 yards on the loss. 3rd and 16, Bald Eagles. Pottsville grad coming out of the ball game now. Burkett is wide to the right. McGinty wide left. I formation. Queckley back to throw. Big pass rush. Steps up into it. Trying to run. Cannot. Josh Klein wraps him up right about the line of scrimmage at the 31-yard line. So 4th down and a punting unit on once again for Lock Haven. Bloomsburg dominating to the tune of 36-0 early here in the second quarter as Charles Traver back to do the punting for the Bald Eagles, senior from Council Rock, and Sean Smith was a 64-yard punt return touchdown to his credit, trying to get another chance for the Huskies. This kick, though, will come up very, very short and high, and Bloomsburg will have to let it bounce, and it will roll dead at the Husky 36-yard line. So that, I was going to say, Andy, a score like this puts a head coach like Danny Hale in an awkward position. I mean, he's glad to have that big lead, but you do want to see your starters get more work than just a quarter.
And Sigler wants to have good numbers on the course of the entire season. He has 89 yards, and you don't want to add up numbers here in a mismatch.
He is the tailback in the eye. He gets the call, looks for some running room, and this time it's read very well. And not much doing. Matt Hendricks, 256-pound sophomore out of DuBois, making the play for the Bald Eagles.
As a coach, your first concern is to get your team ready. And even in a game, you need to get it ready. There wasn't a lot of running room for Sigler last week at Indiana. You want the guy to get back into his normal rhythms, be able to see the field well against live opposition. So you need to work him regardless of the score. So even though the score got lopsided early, he needs at least another quarter or so of running so that he's at his best next week. And I think that's your first concern as a coach.
There was a face mask call after the carry, so 5 yards tacked on. 1st and 3 Bloomsburg at their own 43. McNamee takes the snap, rolls right, lobs a pass for Sean Smith, makes the catch on the sideline and is forced out of bounds in Lock Haven territory at about the 43-yard line.
He's not had a reception. That's his first. You need to do what's best for your own team.
From the 44-yard line of Lock Haven, McNamee gives the ball to Brett Kozlowski at the tailback spot. He goes off the left side and pounds inside the 40 to the Lock Haven 39-yard line. Jeremy Krills, the middle linebacker, 5'11", 210-pound junior out of Ephrata, makes the stop for Lock Haven.
Nice running off the left side, powering ahead. Rather conservative play calling. We're not seeing the draw actions or the counter trays now. Pretty much the standard I formation power play off the left side.
Rashid Braddock ahead of Brett Kozlowski. The running backs behind quarterback Glenn McNamee. Loco wide to the right. McNamee back, looking that way. Long to Loco, who's wide open, makes the grab. It goes in for the touchdown. McNamee to Loco, 39 yards for the score.
They're making it look easy. There's actually a very difficult pass rush that had to be stopped. On the left side, Mark Paceni and Tim Bear had to exchange assignments to keep the rush off of McNamee. But he had tremendous protection in the pocket from that left side as they did make their pickups. He was able to nonchalantly air that ball out downfield, and Lelko had beaten the coverage deep, floats out perfectly into his hands, and he coasts in.
Tom Boop now will attempt the extra point. He's been perfect so far. Ron Lelko does the holding, the placement, the kick is up, and the kick is good. Time on the field, 10:26 to go in the first half of play with the score. Bloomsburg 43 and Lock Haven nothing. Here, Bloomsburg has been perfect on this Sunday afternoon at Redmond Stadium. They have scored on every possession. They lead Lock Haven 43-0. There are still 10 minutes and 26 seconds remaining in the first half of play.
Ron Lelko now with 5 catches, 2 touchdowns, and 123 yards in reception. As you mentioned, very early here in the second quarter.
Smith Vitale and Brett Umbenhauer deep anticipating awaiting the kickoff of John Emp. Emp's kick will sail to the far side of the field to Vital at the 10-yard line. Up to the 15, to the 20. Tries to break out of the pack, does so momentarily, and finally ridden down near the 30-yard line.
The sideline and give his team nice field position on the 30.
First and 10, Lock Haven at their 30-yard line. I formation, Cleckley back to throw, pump fake now, fires the pass incomplete, intended for McGinty.
And 86 catches on the course of his career, fails to pull that one in as it's just too hot.
Second down and 10. Umbenhauer and Kitt backs in an open set behind Carlos Cleckley. A Lock Haven quarterback sets him down at the 30-yard line. Bloomsburg showing blitz. They back off, long count by Cleckley. Now he takes the snap and he rolls right, and he wants to throw, and the pass is picked off by Steve Foster. Foster backpedals to the 48, up to the 45, to the 40, to the 35, to the 30, and finally hit and dropped inside the 25-yard line. So Steve Foster picks off the pass, his first interception of the season. There is a flag on the play.
Flag during the return of the interception. It'll be a hold, illegal use of hands against the Huskies upfield. So the field position will be closer to midfield instead of down there on the Lock Haven 25. But nonetheless, a fine interception by Foster. He was moving in that direction in his zone, and when he saw the quarterback delivery, he had to turn and make a fine catch on his fingertips. He then had the presence to keep his momentum going, starts traversing the field and looking for a lane. But his defenders, not really adept at blocking, use their hands, and it brings it well back to the other side of midfield, spotted at the Huskies' 42-yard line.
A clipping was the official call as Bloomsburg will take over at their 42-yard line with a first and 10, and we have a new quarterback for the Huskies, Mike Dominic, 6 foot, 170-pound redshirt freshman from Downingtown. Sets him down at the 42-yard line. Takes the snap, gives the ball to Herb Ziegler. Ziegler over midfield and spins and gets down to the Lock Haven 45-yard line. John Berardi makes the stop for Lock Haven.
I'm sure they will. I think especially here in this half.
The give straight ahead to Rashid Braddock, the fullback, and he gets to the 40-yard line of Lock Haven. Albert Jones making the stop from his defensive end position. Second down and 5. Huskies at that point. Bloomsburg with a huge lead. Clock running 9:14 to go in the first half. Huskies will travel to Springfield, Massachusetts next Saturday afternoon to take on American International College. AIC will bring a 2-1 record in that ball game. They're idle this week, but they have a win over Kutztown and a win over Springfield. High formation on the delay. Herb Ziegler gets the call, slips out of a tackle, gets inside the 35 to the 33. Bill Heller now in the ball game for Lock Haven, a senior out of Berwick High School. Is usually a starter for this team from the linebacker position, but bothered a little bit by a shoulder injury. Their defensive coordinator Frank Leake said we would see him before the day was out. He's in on that last tackle, but Ziegler still gets the first down to the 33-yard line, make it the 31-yard line of Lock Haven.
Kettler actually was the only listed senior starter on the defensive unit.
Now Ziegler is replaced by Brett Kozlowski. Loco wide to the right. Dominic barking signals, gives the ball to Kozlowski, tries the right side, gets inside the 30, down to the 28-yard line. 3 yards in the pickup before Albert Jones can make the stop for Lock Haven.
Strong running. Again, the counter tray look. While this team enjoys using the sprint draw action and some other power I formations, when you pull that back side of the line to lead it through, there's deception that fools the linebackers, and then there's power at the point of attack. About the third time they've run it in this game, I think it's going to become more important as a part of the arsenal for the Huskies.
Second down and 7, Bloomsburg. Randy Davidson's wide to the right side. Dominic gives the ball to Kozlowski. Kozlowski straight ahead, picks up 3 to the 25-yard line before Matt Hendricks, a sophomore for DuBois, and John Berardi, a linebacker, combined for the play. Third down and 4 for the Huskies, the Lock Haven 25.
Set if they don't come away without getting points this time.
Loco wide left, Davidson wide right. Lallman, the tight end on the left side. Third down call from the Lock Haven 25. Dominic gives the ball to Ziegler, who slips and falls to 25. So Irv Ziegler stopped by himself at the 25-yard line, and it'll bring up a 4th down and 4. Now, this is an awkward situation, Andy, when you have the lead that Bloomsburg has 43-0.
In sportsmanship, what do? You could kick the field goal and try to pad on with 3, but if you go on 4th down and convert, then you're probably padding on with 6 or 7. I think you just call your game. You go with what you normally would do in this situation. You might lighten it with personnel, but you just play your game here, going on 4th down.
From the 25-yard line, Huskies need 4 for the first down. Dominic takes the snap, rolls right. His first pass is a collegiate. Davidson goes up and makes a terrific catch in traffic inside the 10-yard line. Randy Davidson in double coverage used that 6'5" height of his, went up high, and somehow came down with it. 1st and goal, Bloomsburg.
Wonderful play, a nice touch by the quarterback, Dominic, on that pass. I thought Davidson had stepped out of bounds prior to the catch, but the officials are watching for other things and watching for interference, so he does get himself back in bounds, goes high, and comes down with the foot in, and it was an acrobatic catch.
And Davidson is wide to the right after his 16-yard reception. Ziegler back in there at the tail of the tandem, but the call goes to the fullback, Johnny Johnson, and he runs hard inside the 5, down to about the 3-yard line. Albert Jones making the stop for Lock Haven.
Running hard. I think right now we're going to see it go tough between the tackles, and if the offensive line can make the seams for those running backs, they'll push another score in. I don't think you'll see too much deception at this point. They'll put the challenge up front.
They mark the football at the 5-yard line, where Bloomsburg faces a 2nd down and goal. Clock running 5 minutes and 44 seconds remaining in the first half. Zlalaman will line up as the tight end on the left side. Ron Loco started on a wing right, goes in motion left as Dominic fakes handoff, rolls right, looking in the end zone, fires a pass. The ball is picked off in the end zone. There is a flag on the play. The ball is intercepted, though, by number 21 for Lock Haven, Angelo Moltere.
Illegal shift against the Huskies decline, count the interception. Did you notice the receiver who was trying to catch that pass, Jim? Number 5, Josh Klein, who's been doing some offensive tight end work. I think they thought they'd try to reward him for his strong defensive efforts and get him points here in a game where they can play around a little bit.
Angelo Moltere, Lock Haven will have a 1st and 10 at their 20-yard line. As Cleckley sets him down, he fakes the ball to the fullback Kitten on the option, pitches to Umbenhauer. He gets outside right and is ridden down at the 20-yard line. Justin Vent, a redshirt freshman from Bedford, in the lineup for the Huskies right now, makes the play. So Vent makes a good play. A Lock Haven player injured on the far sideline, so we'll have an injury timeout. 5 minutes and 11 seconds to go in the first half. Was the player shaken up for Lock Haven? He appears to be okay. Taken to the sideline, 2nd and 10. Ball Eagles from the 20. Cleckley back to throw, fires, and it's beyond the reach of Art Harris. Lee Strawbridge on the coverage for Bloomsburg. Strawbridge, a 5'9", 167-pound sophomore out of Harrisburg High School. Started in the Huskies program as a quarterback, but has moved to defensive back now, and he's in there at a corner. It's going to be 3rd down and 10. Lock Haven at the 20. Lee Strawbridge is an excellent athlete. They just really haven't found a position for him. After the quarterback experiment, tried a little wide receiver. Now he's at a cornerback as Lock Haven faces 3rd down and 10 at their own 20. Slot to the left side, and rolling that way is Cleckley. Has some time now. He's being pursued, gets the pass away, incomplete. Standing back at a 6-yard line, Steve Foster and Sean Smith awaiting. Snap is a good one, and Traver gets the kick away. Sails it to Sean Smith at the Bloomsburg 47-yard line. Smith over midfield. Smith spins to the Lock Haven 45-yard line. Brad Caldwell makes the stop along with Angelo Moltere.
Until the interception in the end zone, that actually ended a string of consecutive pass completions on the game. Prior to that interception, the Huskies were 7 for 7. McNamee 6 for 6 when he left the game, and Dominic with 1 completion prior to that pass.
Mike Dominic, the redshirt freshman, is again the quarterback for the Huskies. Kozlowski's the tailback in the eye. He gets the call, tries the left side, and is brought down at the 41-yard line. Matt Hendricks got him from behind, would not let up. A 6'4", 265-pounder out of Du Bois. So Kozlowski picks up 4 to the Lock Haven 41. Second down and 6 Huskies.
Just about 4 minutes left to go in the half. I think the Huskies will keep it on the ground to let that clock run. But again, when you have your people in the game, you're going the hardest you can with whatever the play call is. I think primarily we'll see I formation running, though.
Loco in the ball game. He's wide to the right side. Long count by Dominic. He gives on a delay to Kozlowski. Kozlowski sees a seam and powers off the right side, gets down to the 35-yard line. Matt Hendricks again in on the stop, along with the strong safety Rasheed Rogers. But Brett Kozlowski, who's done nothing but good things in every opportunity he's had as a running back here at Bloomsburg. The only reason he doesn't play more is he's just always played behind some very talented people.
I think he'll play a lot more this year as the number 2 tailback. He'll be getting significant time throughout the game in order to rest Irv Sigler. On the year, he was 17 carries for 118 yards, and that's against realistic competition, an average of 6.9 yards a carry.
Loco in motion left side. Third down and inches for the Huskies, and it's the fullback, Rasheed Braddock, gets the call, goes outside right, and picks up the first down. Angelo Moltere, who had that interception earlier for the Bald Eagles, makes the play, but Rasheed Braddock, a sophomore out of Frankfurt High School in Philadelphia, in there at the fullback spot for the Huskies now, picks up 6 yards and a 1st and 10 at the Lock Haven 29.
Only 5'7", but he has a bit of bulk about him, a massive individual, so he has the power. Showed a little speed getting wide on that play.
Lallemand, the tight end, on the left side. Braddock and Kozlowski now in an offset behind quarterback Mike Dominic. Dominic gives to Kozlowski. He tries the left side, and Kozlowski inside the 25 to the 24-yard line. Bill Hetler, a former Berwick High School star, making the play. You go back to that 1992 unbeaten state champion team for Berwick, and people, of course, remember the big names of that team, Ron Pollison, Jason Soboleski, Chris Orlando, but nobody had much of a better season than Bill Hetler as a two-way player.
You can argue about an MVP, really. He has to stop the other team from scoring, and he was a tremendous talent on that unit.
Second down and 5. Huskies at their own 24-yard line. Loco wide to the right side, rolling that way is Dominic, and he fires to Loco. He goes up high, gets 1 foot down, but not quite. Out of bounds. What a terrific effort by Loco.
He went high, and he realized he's almost frozen in the air. He has to make the catch, but the foot has to come in bounds for it to count. I think this is the concentration went to getting the foot in bounds. It left the ball. So just too many things to work on at one time, and physically it might just have been an impossibility. If he made the catch, the feet wouldn't have come in. If he got the foot in, he wasn't going to make the catch, and it just misses from clicking.
And not a lot of drama in a 43-0 first half score, but it's got to be a big moment for Mike Dominic after redshirting for a whole season. Now finally in there at the controls, the Huskies, as he gives the ball to Kozlowski. There's plenty of running room inside the 20, inside the 15, down to the 13-yard line before Bill Hetler can make the stop. But Kozlowski picks up a 1st and 10 on an 11-yard run. Getting back to Dominic, it's got to be a big moment for him.
Well, it is a big moment for him. It's great to be able to run that team when you have significant playing time. It's also important for the Huskies to get him playing time in case McNamee ever takes a shot, and he needs to give them significant time in a game.
From the 13-yard line, Kozlowski again the call, straight up the gut, and gets to the 10-yard line before Brad Caldwell can make the play. It'll be 2nd down and 7.
You know, the Huskies have worked with the talent of Glenn McNamee through their successful years, but any one shot can put him down, and then the team's fortunes rely on Dominic being able to run the team. Getting experience for maybe 3/4 of a game here will certainly help them down the road if they need him.
Dominic rolls right to throw, fires incomplete. Beyond the reach of Sean Smith in the corner of the end zone. So it'll bring up 3rd and 7 for Bloomsburg at the Lock Haven 10 with 58 seconds to go in this first half.
Showed a strong arm there, but maybe a bit too strong. Maybe a little more finesse was needed. Nearing the sideline, Sean Smith had to put on the brakes to maintain inbounds position. The ball was drilled. Ends up going off of his fingertips, but really not a catchable ball.
3rd down and 7. Bloomsburg at the Lock Haven 10-yard line. I formation. Johnny Johnson in there at the fullback spot now, ahead of Brett Kozlowski. Kozlowski gets the call up the gut, bounces away for a tackler inside the 5. drive, and Brett Kozlowski gets down around the 2-yard line for a 1st and goal for Bloomsburg.
Strong running. Great individual effort there. There was blocking up front, but it was stuffing things in one area. He bends it to the left and is able to get it. Huskies going to take a timeout, Jim. It seems they want to change some personnel.
So they Bloomsburg to follow. New Haven coming off that wild 59-56 win over East Stroudsburg last week. Here it's been all Bloomsburg. Huskies lead Lock Haven 43-0. Closing moments first half, 32 seconds to go. Bloomsburg at the Lock Haven 3-yard line. Mike Dominic is the quarterback. Brett Kozlowski the tailback in the I. And then Dominic takes the snap and he rolls right and he fires to Sean Smith for a Bloomsburg touchdown. Mike Dominic with the first touchdown pass of his career. Sean Smith makes the grab.
Rollout action off play action fake going to the right, the wide side of the field. Sean Smith had run that pattern earlier. He breaks it off a little bit sooner as he's coming toward the sideline and toward the flag in the end zone. He pulls it in about a yard short. Good sure-handed reception from the receiver.
So Dominic, the redshirt freshman from Downingtown, has his first career touchdown pass. And now Tom Boop has been perfect on extra points. We'll try it again. No, it's James Haynes. James Haynes kicks the extra point. Time out on the field, 28 seconds to go in the first half of play with the score. Bloomsburg 50 and Lock Haven nothing. We'll be back in fighter Mark Malloy from Bloomsburg University's Redmond Stadium. Huskies have just concluded a 45-yard scoring drive engineered by quarterback Mike Dominic, the redshirt freshman from Downingtown. He capped the drive with a 3-yard touchdown pass to Sean Smith. And the Huskies lead it by a score of 50-0. Still 28 seconds remaining in the first half of play. John F. will kick off once again for Bloomsburg as Dominic does a nice job bringing his team downfield. Gets his first collegiate touchdown pass. Imp's kick sails along the turf, picked up by one of the up men, and Lee Strawbridge will make the tackle at the 36-yard line. So Lock Haven will have it. Scott Fisher on that return, sophomore at Carlisle for the Bald Eagles. They have it at their own 36-yard line. Time for perhaps 2 more plays, depending on how they play it. 17 seconds to go in this half. Carlos Cleckley, the junior out of Beaver Falls, remains at the quarterback controls. A.J. Anderson is the tailback in the I formation. Flags fly as the call goes to Willie Kitt, the fullback, and he has a good effort as he gets over midfield to the 48-yard line before Mike Kogut to make the stop for the Huskies. Will check the flag.
Thrown at the line of scrimmage by both the head linesman and the line judge, so some kind of movement prior to the snap. Nice hard running. First leg of the option with the fullback bursting ahead in the middle. Showed a lot of power. Penalties against the Huskies, it will be declined, so give Kitt that nice run.
It's to the Bloomsburg 48-yard line, so 16 yards on the run by the veteran fullback Willie Kitt. Lock Haven now will use a timeout. Remaining in the first half, Lock Haven at the Bloomsburg 48. Tailback Anderson goes in motion right. And back to throw is Cleckley, and looking long downfield, Jay Zaransky lets it go through his hands as the first half will come to an end. With the score, Bloomsburg University 50 and Lock Haven University nothing. We'll be back with the first half scoring right after this. University's Redmond Stadium. A couple of minutes away from the start of the second half. Bloomsburg dominating Lock Haven to the tune of 50-0. This is the most played rivalry in the history of Bloomsburg University football. Today marking the 74th meeting. Lock Haven still leads the overall series, but Bloomsburg has dominated in recent years. In fact, especially in the Danny Hale era. The Huskies won the last 3 years with Hale as head coach, defeating the Bald Eagles, and today with that huge 50-0 lead. And it'll be interesting to see whether the starters get to play any. Sometimes coaches with big leads like to have those starters in for maybe a series in the second half, keep them sharp and feeling good about themselves, and then bring them out. I'm sure, Andy, at halftime there was a lot of petitioning on the part of the first stringers for the coaching staff to let them play at least a little in the second half.
I think they do. I think it's necessary to stretch their legs and try to get a little bit of timing, but that will be a coaching decision. Danny Hale, his team got a lot of points in the first half, and they played right to the end, right to the final bell, keeping it at full tilt, even though they were changing personnel to do it, but they weren't really changing game plans. They were working to score to give Mike Dominic a legitimate look at going against the first-team defense. So he's going to make decisions based upon the score, upon what's good for his team. And he's a guy, of course, of top character, of class, of sportsmanship. Those things all define Danny Hale, people who know him. The priority will be the team, and then after that, of course, always a focus is the sportsmanship involved. And with the score here, 50-0, I'm sure the reserves will get a lot of playing time and be able to show what they can do. And they know this is being filmed. It will be reviewed, give them a chance to see their own performance as they go over some film work, and a time for the coaches to evaluate some of those backups, see if they're ready to compete, and see, how they can view people for next year as well.
Well, Lock Haven will get the football to start this second half. The Bald Eagles will be moving from our right to our left. Bloomsburg scored on all but one possession in that first half, and the Huskies have that big lead at 50-0. John Emp will kick off, and Ben Steinbacher and Mattel Smith back deep for Lock Haven. This second half is underway. The kick will be fielded by Steinbacher at the 6-yard line. The middle to the 10, to the 15, to the 20, the 25, the 30, the 35, the 40, the 45, over midfield and spun down at the Lock Haven 45-yard line.
Kicker John Imp made the play.
Mo Steinbacher, the junior from Montoursville, with the long return. And Lock Haven for the first time in Bloomsburg territory at the Husky 46-yard line. Carlos Cleckley gives to the fullback, Willie Kidd, and nothing doing. Jeremy Grimm all over the play for the Huskies. 6'3", 244-pound senior out of Northampton. So Kidd, the 225-pound junior fullback, gets nothing, maybe even lost a half yard. We'll call it 2nd and 10 from the Bloomsburg 46.
Grimm is tough, and as I mentioned earlier in the game, he's not only playing one side at defensive end, but he switches to the other as they keep these three people rotating in. He seems the most versatile, playing both sides.
McGinty splits wide to the right side. Second down call coming for the Bald Eagles. Cleckley gives straight ahead. Again, not much doing. Maybe a yard on the play. In the third quarter play, McGinty wide to the right side. Burkett wide to the left, backs in an open set behind quarterback Carlos Cleckley. Here's a 3rd and 10 call. Cleckley on a long count. And too long, as it'll be a 5-yard walk-off. Boy, he got under center and just kept calling signals and looking things off and calling signals, and it was inevitable that delay was coming, and that is the call here. 3rd down and 14 now for Lock Haven. Backs in an open set. Cleckley is back to throw. Looking, firing long downfield. The ball is incomplete. Art Harris, the intended receiver. Ben Hennikel, the junior out of Waynesboro, on the coverage for the Huskies. So a good defensive stand for Bloomsburg after Lock Haven got the long kick return by Steinbacher to open the half. Charles Traber will be back to punt for Lock Haven, standing back at his 35-yard line. Sean Smith had the long return earlier, but it's Derek Lynch who is back there for the Huskies right now. Snap is a good one, and Traber will get the kick away. Josh Klein in his face, but he got it away anyhow. Takes a great bounce for Lock Haven. Derek Lynch picks it up at the goal line. He's in big trouble, and he'll get it back to the 3. That ball bouncing toward the end zone, but looked like it might not get in, so Lynch not taking any chances. Fielded the ball, but his momentum took him back to the goal line. Was only able to get out to about the 3. Willie Kidd came down there and made the play. So Bloomsburg on their first possession of this third quarter will have the football at their own 3 with a 1st and 10.
Yeah, Lynch made the right decision in my mind. The ball was not going to make the end zone. Rolling toward it, but then on a bounce, it seemed to bounce back. While in the air, he realized that, so he picked it up, tried to get momentum, but fine coverage by Lockhaven.
Irv Ziegler is the tailback standing in the end zone, gets the handoff and is hit hard after a gain of just a yard on the play. Jeremy Krills makes the stop from his inside linebacker position.
Just a horrendous field position is going to give them a bit of a challenge as well as the defense. You still have to work it out, and it's always good to work on this opportunity to make some yardage here deep in your own end.
Second down from the 5-yard line. John Johnson is the fullback ahead of Ziegler in the eye. Ziegler gets the call, tries the left side, bounces it to the outside, over the 10. Ziegler over the 15 and out to the 18-yard line. Irv Ziegler brought down by Rasheed Rogers. You know, you think, Andy, of Irv Ziegler as a finesse runner and a player with all the moves and the swerving hips, and he is all of that, but he can lower the shoulder, he can break tackles as well.
I know when I was talking to him during an interview this year, I saw him with his shirt off, and I didn't realize how much he's grown, the definition in his body. He's 6'1", 206 pounds, so he has the frame to be a power runner beyond the finesse.
13 yards on that carry. 1st and 10 Huskies. McNamee throws it away as he's going for Ziegler on the sideline, but the play was well covered. Angelo Moltere, who stopped Bloomsburg on the only time the Huskies did not score in the first half with an interception, was on the coverage. Irv Ziegler comes off limping a bit as the Huskies will face a 2nd down and 10 at their own 18-yard line.
I think everyone in the Bloomsburg area has to be very proud of Glenn McNamee for his student-athlete achievement. $10,000 scholarship in his name received by the university this week from Burger King.
They made that presentation before the ball game on a delay. Brett Kozlowski gets the call. Kozlowski looking for running room, threads his way out to about the 25-yard line where Jeremy Krills makes the stop. So on a 2nd and 10 call, Kozlowski picks up close to 7 on the play. It'll be 3rd down and 3 for Bloomsburg.
To that total.
Jim McCaffrey, the Husky punter, maybe hoping they don't make it.
Made the trip for nothing.
As McNamee takes the snap, back to throw on 3rd and 3. Has the man open, Sean Smith. Smith spins away from a tackler and then is gang tackled at about the 38-yard line. Boy, after the play, one of Lockhaven's players, Rasheed Rogers, standing around on the play, and Mark Bossetti hit him for a loop. That's a cardinal sin to stand around a pileup in football.
Especially when a 324-pounder is barreling down at you. The tackle was being made, but as you mentioned, you don't want to be a watcher or you're going to be knocked on your butt.
1st and 10, Bloomsburg at their own 38-yard line. 13 yards on the pass reception by Sean Smith. I formation behind McNamee. The call goes to Johnny Johnson. He's got running room over the 45 to midfield and gets to the Lockhaven 47-yard line. Rasheed Rogers makes the stop for the Bald Eagles, but Johnny Johnson running very hard from that fullback position for the Huskies.
I think that's one of the real positives coming out of this game is to see the effectiveness of the fullback. Johnny Johnson needs to become more apart to give the offense more versatility. We know McNamee can pass and Ziegler can run, and Lelko and Sean Smith are all weapons. But if you can get another weapon in the mix that can pound that middle with John Johnson, you've added another dimension to the team, and they're getting that this game.
14 yards on that carry. Now Ziegler gets the call. Tries the right side. In trouble. Bounces away. Still gets his way to the 43-yard line before Bill Hetler can make the stop. There is a flag on the play.
Thrown by the umpire into the line of scrimmage would normally indicate a holding call, and I believe that's what the preliminary indication will show. Holding against the Huskies. Hook and the arm has to get wider than the shoulder, and that's the definition the referees try to go by.
1st and 20. Huskies back at their 43-yard line. McNamee takes the snap, and he's back to throw, and he has some time, and he's looking long for Lelko, but the coverage is there, and the ball is picked off. Over the shoulder interception by Eric Zachman, and Zachman gets to the 12 12-yard line of Lock Haven. So Eric Zachman, a senior out of Hewitt, New Jersey, and I'm sure he wanted to do well to impress his older brother, Carl, who played basketball here at Bloomsburg University. And Eric Zachman comes up with the interception, and Lock Haven takes over the football at their own 14-yard line with a 1st and 10, with 8:23 remaining in the third period, and Bloomsburg leading at 50-0.
Came out trying to run their veer offense in the first series. Let's see if they go back to it.
Cleckley with the backs in an open set, and he gives straight ahead to Harrison. Not much doing. Right about the line of scrimmage.
Might have even lost a yard. Huskies are getting penetration. A.J. Anderson, I believe, on that carry, Jim, but he's too deep in the eye. They used a little counter step in the backfield, and as he was coming forward, the Huskies already have defeated the blockers. They're 1 yard deep, and they pinch in on him. He fights it back to the line of scrimmage.
2nd down and 10. Lock Haven. Anderson again is the tailback in the eye behind Willie Kitt, as Cleckley sets him down, takes the snap, fakes a draw, fires the pass, incomplete. Too high for the intended receiver, Jason Kuntz, the tight end. John Zalos, who's in there in the Bloomsburg secondary right now in the coverage.
The change in systems, going from the run and shoot to a more conservative offense, it's going to take away from his personal glory.
He is wide to the left side is Brian McKinney. John Zalos out on him. 3rd and long call. Moten gets the call on a draw. Gets out to about the 20-yard line, but he'll be short of the 1st down yardage. John Hip making the play from a linebacker position for the Huskies. So Lock Haven once again will bring the punt team on.
Been doing a lot of punting in this game. Brian McGinty coming in was just a few catches short, 4 catches short of becoming number 5 all-time in receptions in the PSAC. And in the yardage race, he needed 36 yards to become number 8. He'd like to see those goals, but this team just isn't sharp in those areas yet, and he's going to have to be patient and become the team player.
Charles Traber will punt, and Sean Smith hoping for another opportunity. He returned a punt for a touchdown in the first half of 64 yards. Traber's kick is a line drive kick that Smith will field at his 48-yard line. Over midfield, runs out of room on the sideline, is ridden out by a couple of Lock Haven players at the Bald Eagle 45. Mark Williams among the people getting down on the play for Lock Haven. So Bloomsburg will open this series with the ball in Lock Haven territory.
Slow getting up on that tackle. Jeremy Krills, the middle linebacker for the team, looks like he's not going to be starting this series. Shaking up a little bit.
Rashid Braddock ahead of Brett Kozlowski in the I formation. Davison wide right. Loco wide left. From the Lock Haven 45, McNamee takes the snap, rolls to his left, looking to throw, fires to the sideline, has Loco, and Loco out of bounds at the 33-yard line. The superb timing of the high school teammates from Phillipsburg, New Jersey, in evidence again. Glenn McNamee and Ron Loco.
Just seems so automatic. Other teams, if you burst the middle on a 1st down run and get 5 yards a clip, it looks like you're an unstoppable machine. Here, this team, anytime they throw that out, they get the chains plus a yard or 2. It just seems automatic. They're going to get 11, 12 yards every time they choose to run the out from McNamee to Loco.
12 on that one. 1st and 10 at the Lock Haven 33. Loco wide right this time. Kozlowski at the tail of the tandem. He gets the call on the delay. Up the middle, has running room. Inside the 30, breaks a tackle to the 25, runs over a tackler inside the 20, down to the 18-yard line. Strong effort by junior tailback Brett Kozlowski. Brad Caldwell, Rashid Rogers combining on the stop for the Bald Eagles.
Irv Ziegler already has his 100-yard game. He's at 129, and Kozlowski now has 67. He'll be getting the bulk of the ball carries the rest of this game, so the prediction pretty much is that he's going to get his 100 yards as well. He's running well.
14 yards on that carry from the Lock Haven 19-yard line. Braddock is the fullback in the I formation. McNamee gives to Rashid Braddock, and he's got some running room inside the 15, down about the 13-yard line.
Give them a little bit more. Keep the middle honest.
2nd and 4. Bloomsburg at the 13. Backs in an offset now behind McNamee. Kozlowski gets the call, tries the right side, looks for some running room, and gets down to the 6-yard line where Angelo Multere covers him. So a good 7-yard pickup by Brett Kozlowski, and it's 1st and goal Bloomsburg.
Seems he had a seam seemed to the inside. It might have been able to reach the goal, but I think he wanted to get the chains first, felt he could use his speed on the outside, and he did turn it into a 7-yard gain. Sometime when the blocking is that strong, there's just different routes you can take. He had the inside seam, he had the outside lane as well. Chose it to go wide.
Loco wide left, Smith wide right. From the Lock Haven 6. Kozlowski, the tailback in the I formation. John Johnson ahead of him. Johnson gets the call. The fullback bursts up the middle and into the end zone for a Bloomsburg touchdown. John Johnson in from the 6-yard line for the score.
Strong blocking, a trap. Jeff Benchini, the right guard, pulled and really clobbered his man, which created the seam. John Johnson, the fullback, on the quick hitting trap, follows that guard's trap block and bursts into the end zone. Tough running by the fullback. Another point on the board there.
So Bloomsburg with their first score of this second half. Ron Loco will hold for the extra point attempt. The snap, the placement, the kick by Haynes is up, and the kick is good. Time out on the field, 4:16 to go in the third quarter of play with the score. Bloomsburg 57 and Lock Haven nothing. Right here at Redmond Stadium, Bloomsburg has just capped a 5-play, 45-yard scoring drive and a 6-yard touchdown run by a little bit from his linebacker position on the last defensive series. So Tom Boop, the freshman from Berwick, perfect on extra point attempts today, will kick off following the touchdown. And Boop's kick is a fine one, high and deep, and the return will be from the 5-yard line. That's Ben Steinbacher, and he is spun down at around the 14-yard line. So good kick by Tom Boop, good kick coverage downfield led by Zamani Hammond. And Lock Haven will take over the football. But Bloomsburg with a huge lead here, 4:06 to go in the third quarter.
I have a problem for a math major, Jim. I want to know how many push-ups this cheerleader has done today. Every time points are scored, he does the total points. We just did another 50 plus 7, 57 from every increment. He's going to have sore arms tomorrow morning.
I would think, as Lock Haven has it at their own 19-yard line, and the give is to Willie Kitt trying to get outside right and will not get there. Justin Vents making the play for the Huskies along with Chris Love. So the defense of the Huskies, which has been outstanding all day long, continues to be so as the Bald Eagles struggle on both sides of the football.
And they'd really like to get something on track offensively. Again, it's such a change in system to go from the run and shoot to a more standard offense. The line's not used to the aggressive blocking or the blocking schemes involved in that option. It's a tough transition time.
2nd and 8 from the 17. Cluckley off play action, rolling left, fires a pass, has his man, Jason Kuntz, and he is wrapped up by linebacker Jay Brook at about the 21-yard line. So pick Young. Third down call for the Bald Eagles. 3rd and 8 at their 21. Cluckley back to throw. Fires it out here to Kuntz. Lockers out in front, but Steve Foster gets by them and makes a good open field tackle for a loss in the play. Back to the 18-yard line. So Foster held his ground at the corner position and makes the tackle in the open field, and 4th down and the punt team on for Lock Haven.
Been trying to throw to the backs on those swing passes or screen passes, but the Huskies really have been reading them well. Zeroing in very quickly as soon as the man makes the reception behind the line. It's the second pass they've stopped for negative yardage.
Charles Traber back at his 3-yard line to do the punting. Sean Smith anticipating. It's a high snap. Traber back in his own end zone does get the kick away. Terrific effort, and Sean Smith fields the ball and is brought down to the 34-yard line. Traber shaken up on the play.
He was hit, but after he fumbles the ball and is forced to scramble, when you kick that on the run, you're going to be taking a shot. The referee gives diminishing protection to a kicker as he turns into runner. So while he was hit as he got it away, there will be no roughing call. He is a veteran on the team, a strong place kicker with many records for Lock Haven. And here in the tail end of a 50.
To educate the community on methods and techniques to decrease the chance of injury occurring to athletes and other physically active people. Keep your feet. Down 2, second down. Rasheed Braddock on the carry for Bloomsburg. Stop! Brett Kozlowski on the carry for Bloomsburg.
Yeah, Whitey!
Brought down by Bill Hetler.
For a commercial, Charles Traber was on his feet. As a result, the Huskies have run 2 plays since then. Run up the middle by Rashid Braddock and run by the tailback, Brett Kozlowski. They've reached the 25-yard line of Lock Haven, where they face a 3rd down and 3 call coming. And Mike Dominic is the quarterback for the Huskies. The redshirt freshman from Downingtown saw some action in the first half. He gives to Kozlowski on the 3rd and 3. Kozlowski's hit hard by Bill Hetler, bounces away and picks up a couple. Jeremy Krills finish him off. So it's going to make a 4th down, a very short situation for Bloomsburg.
Of course, you won't punt, you won't field goal here. Yeah, with the field position at the 24-yard line, 23-yard line, and 1 yard to go. Anticipate a power run, but after the quarter changes.
The 3rd quarter has come to an end with the score. Bloomsburg 57 and Lock Haven nothing. Bloomsburg with the football at the Lock Haven 23 to start the 4th quarter. 4th down and 1. And Brett Kozlowski gets the call up the left side, has the 1st down, and then some inside the 15, inside the 10, and down around the 5-yard line. Tim Bryan makes the stop along with Brad Caldwell, but another terrific effort by the junior from Northern Lebanon, Brett Kozlowski.
Play's been in the playbook a while. Flanker coming in motion to the left side, turns into blocker on the corner, then give it to the tailback wide. We've seen it with different personnel. We've seen Mike Johnson running it in the blocking of Buck Eardley. This time it's Davidson blocking for Kozlowski. Kozlowski now has 95 yards on 16 carries.
18 yards on that carry by Kozlowski, who again is the tailback in the eye. He gets the call up the gut and pounds down about the 3-yard line. We're at 2nd down and goal for Bloomsburg. John Gerst makes the stop from his defensive end position. Gerst is a junior out of Danville High School, 6'5", 225-pounder. A couple of sacks and 11 tackles on the season coming into this one today.
Young defense out there for Lock Haven. We mentioned the only listed starter was going to be Bill Hetler as a senior, so he didn't even get the start. So an entire underclassmen unit playing defense for Frank Leaks' squad.
On the 3-yard line, Bloomsburg with a 2nd down. Gives to Kozlowski, sweeping the right side, lowers the shoulder, bounces off a tackler, and gets in for the touchdown. Tough run by Brett Kozlowski as the Huskies get on the board here early in the 4th quarter.
Given the 100-yard game on that carry, 101 yards for Brett Kozlowski on the game. Strong run off the right side. He was hit about the 1-yard line, but he kept the legs chucking. He dropped the shoulder and powered in for the score. So the Huskies add to their big lead, and we'll see the kicker here lining up for the PAT to try to add one more. It'll be Haynes kicking.
And James Haynes is 2 for 2. There's the hold. The kick is up, and the kick is good. Timeout on the field. 13:44 to go in the football game with the score. Bloomsburg 64 and Lock Haven nothing. We'll be back in right here. It is Bloomsburg leading Lock Haven 64-0. As Tommy Boop, the freshman from Berwick, will kick off following the latest score, a 3-yard touchdown run by Brett Kozlowski. The Huskies with a couple of running backs going over the 100-yard mark this afternoon.
Officially for Kozlowski, 18 carries for 105 yards. For Sigler, 14 carries for 132.
Boop's kick will be fielded by Steinbacher up the middle to 7-yard line, to the 10, to the 15, to the 20, skirts a tackler, and then is ridden down about the 25-yard line. So Steinbacher on the return. Scott Dietrich makes the play for the Huskies. A good day. Really good day in my dreams.
I can do 4.
From the 25-yard line, Doug Moten is in at the fullback spot for Lock Haven. He gets the call and gets out to about the 30-yard line before Chris Acuff can make the stop for the Huskies. Acuff, a 5'10", 218-pound junior from Belfont. So 5 yards for Doug Moten on the carry for Lock Haven.
A rousing cheer was not for him, Jim. You heard the bell stop partway. The cheerleader needed a break in those 64. That's the standing ovation. Cheerleader got them all in. Doing a victory lap now.
Second down call. Lock Haven at their own 30-yard line. As the give on the play, the tailback, Anderson, he's brought down by Tony Brown for a loss. We have a quarterback change for Lock Haven as well. Nate Erdman, a sophomore from Northern Lebanon, the home school of Brett Kozlowski, makes that. Erdman is in there now. So Lock Haven with the football at their 26-yard line. Third down play coming as Erdman, play action, back to throw, rolling right, fires over the middle, incomplete. There is a flag down on the play. He tried to hit his wide receiver Darren Morgan, a freshman from Troy. Pass sailed on Erdman, the sophomore. And it's an offside call against Bloomsburg, so it'll be
back. So even though Cleckley is rather young and wants the experience and wants to become the starter and get as much game time, Erdman is going to get some time here so that both can work should there be an injury situation.
On the 36-yard line, third down and about 4 following the penalty, and Erdman back to throw, and he has his man, a completion out to the 45-yard line. So Erdman, the sophomore, hits a freshman, Darren Morgan. John Zalos makes the stop for the Huskies, and Lock Haven moves the sticks as they have a first down at their own 45-yard line.
Nice pass by Erdman and a nice route by Darren Morgan. Ran a quick slant in pattern off the left side, knew what he needed to get the chains. Able to catch it, the timing was fine, and a nice little run after the catch.
Moten ahead of Anderson in the I formation. The Bald Eagles with the ball. Just over their own 45-yard line. Moten gets the ball, and he is wrapped up. Justin Vent, great penetration. In fact, he almost took the handoff from quarterback Nate Erdman. There will be no gain on the play.
Yeah, coming in very hard. Justin Vent, 6'2", 235, a freshman out of Bedford. Did get that penetration. It's a quick way of stopping that dive. Erdman should read that a little better. He gave a nice fake with the read and looked like he was going to pull it out and come down the line. But as the man is being tackled, you probably should pull the ball out altogether and continue with the option further down.
Second down and 10 for Lock Haven. The 45-yard line. Back to throw Erdman. Rolling left. Fires the pass and a diving attempt at the 49-yard line, and they're giving the catch to number 85 for Lock Haven.
Delatre, Homer Delatre, Jim. He's a senior who hasn't seen much time. There he makes a beautiful catch as he goes very, very low near his own sideline. Able to scoop it up before it gets to the turf, and that will be a 7-yard gain. A very fine play by the senior.
So Lock Haven has it at the Bloomsburg 48-yard line. Backs at an open set. Erdman sets him down. Takes the snap, gives the ball to Moten. Moten straight ahead, gets down to the 42-yard line, picks up about 6 on the play.
Running hard off the right side, got a nice seam. The blockers over there were able to open it up. Huskies have been putting some reserves in, and it seems that they're being a bit outmanned. That time the seam does open. Moten runs very hard off the right side, and again they move the chains. So this is the finest drive we've seen by the Lock Haven unit this afternoon.
Lock Haven trying to avert a shutout. 8:38 to go in the football game. Erdman, the sophomore from Northern Lebanon, sets him down at the 42-yard line. Back to throw. The ball is batted down. Mike Kogut, number 99, got the big hand up there. Kogut has been an excellent player in his senior season out of Mount Carmel. Suffered the broken wrist in the preseason but has the cast on. However, it's another offside call against Bloomsburg. So Lock Haven will get 5 the easy way to the Bloomsburg 37-yard line.
Sophomore Thomas Towers also in there playing linebacker and got some nice penetration. He also was in the face of the quarterback. So they try that same slant in that had success a little bit earlier in the series. This time the linemen and the linebackers getting the hands up, the ball being deflected by Kogut.
First down for Lock Haven. 1st and 5 at the Bloomsburg 37. Fake to Moten. Erdman's going to option right side. He's in trouble. He'll be wrapped up for a loss back at the 39-yard line. So Bloomsburg defenses that very well. John Imp at the linebacker spot making the play for the Huskies.
Have a note pass to us, Jim. The old record for points into game in 1972 was 62 points for the Huskies against Scranton. So this tally that we have now of 64 does set a record for points in a game.
So in the history of Bloomsburg University football, no Husky team has scored as many points in a game as Bloomsburg has this afternoon, as Erdman back to pass, fires to Anderson, and he cannot hang on. So to go is an incompletion and bring up 3rd down.
Tough ruling on that play. The ball was thrown sideways almost as a lateral, and he seemed to have possession momentarily. I thought he took a step and they would have had possession, and then he drops it in trying to gain. Now, if it is a lateral, it would be a live ball regardless. I thought it could have been viewed as a completed pass if it was forward and then a fumble, but the referee does blow that one dead, so we mark it as an incomplete.
So it's a 3rd down call for Lock Haven at the Bloomsburg 39-yard line. 8:36 remaining. Bald Eagles trying to get on the board for the first time this afternoon. Backs in an open set. Back to throw Erdman. He's in trouble. Huskies in pursuit, but he gets away and he rolls left and he fires the pass and it's batted down. John Zalos, a sophomore from Kennedy Kenrick High School, with a good defensive play for Bloomsburg.
There's a potential for a possible interception. But roughing the passer will move field position in favor of Lock Haven as they're finding their deepest penetration into Husky territory. They'll spot this ball on the 18-yard line.
Actually, the 23 will be the line of scrimmage. 1st and 10 for the Bald Eagles. I want to remind you, high school football action on WJMW tonight from Bucknell University as unbeaten Lewisburg takes on Southern Columbia. Andy and I will be on the air with that one, starting with the pregame show at 7 o'clock. 1st and 10, Lock Haven at the Bloomsburg 23. Backs in an open set. Erdman play action, rolling right, wants to throw. Man in pursuit, throws, then it's picked off. Lee Strawbridge makes the interception and returns to the 22-yard line. So Strawbridge, the junior out of Harrisburg High School, picks off the pass, and Bloomsburg stops the Lock Haven threat.
Chris McPhee really hit him after the interception, but it was a fine play. He had to pick it up below. It was down near his knees as he was breaking up toward the ball. As he gained some momentum coming upfield, McPhee just met him helmet to helmet and put him down. But it does end the best scoring threat for Lock Haven as the Huskies gain possession on the turnover.
8 minutes remaining in the football game. 1st and 10, Bloomsburg at their 22. Huskies have set a school record with 64 points this afternoon. They lead at 64-0. Eddie Crothers out of Carlisle High School is in the ball game now for the Huskies, but the call goes to the fullback, number 45, Chris Robinson, a junior from Chambersburg. So Chris Robinson gets the carry for the Huskies, and he gets out to the 24-yard line, picks up a couple. 2nd down and 8, Bloomsburg.
Basically running between the tackles here. Keep it on the ground, they'll keep that clock moving, but they will work the line and work these reserve running backs.
Crothers again, the tailback of the eye. Robinson ahead of him. Dominic sets him down at the 24. Mike Dominic gives on the delay to Eddie Crothers, and Crothers over the 30 out to the 32-yard line. Albert Jones makes the stop. Crothers is a talent. He's not going to see a lot of time behind both Irv Ziegler and Brett Kozlowski, but when he got an opportunity in the opening game against Wayne State, he played well.
Looked very good on that run, too. He has that flash, the acceleration. Different running backs have different talent. Irv Ziegler has the ability for the quick moves, and we see toughness at Kozlowski. This guy has that flash. He has nice speed.
9 yards on that carry. 1st and 10 at the 33. as the call goes to Crothers again off the left side, brought down. Brad Caldwell makes the play as Eddie Crothers picks up 3 to the 36-yard line, 2nd down and 7. Bloomsburg with the football at their own 36. Crothers and Robinson, backs in an open set. Long count by the redshirt freshman Mike Dominic. He gives the ball to Crothers. Crothers tries the right side, and Eddie Crothers is out to the 40-yard line. Albert Jones makes the stop from his defensive end position.
Running very hard, but again, they're limiting their offense to power running inside the tackles. They might vary it a little bit, but primarily they're going to go in that direction. Make the offensive line work, move some people out, keep this on the ground. Try to convert on 3rd down with the power run. Limit the passing game because of the score.
3rd down and 3. Bloomsburg, ball just over the Huskies' 40-yard line. Again, backs in an open set. Long count by Mike Dominic. Takes the snap, gives to Crothers, tries the left side. Second effort, looking for the 1st down. I believe he's got it.
Second effort, I think, did get it, Jim. He was hit at the line of scrimmage, and it looked like he wouldn't be able to go. But he was able to sort of veer his body, twist a little bit, keep the forward momentum, keep the feet chugging, and he does move the chains. You know, sometimes the impressive run is that 15-yarder where you see the flash and you see the speed. But there, when the team needs 3 yards to maintain possession and keep going with it, he earns it when he's met at the line of scrimmage. That tells you a lot about a running back. A lot of desire on that run.
1st and 10, Bloomsburg, at their own 44-yard line. Mike Dominic, again on a long count. And too long. Yeah, field judge throwing the flag. 25-second clock has gone out of the way. So apparently he saw something at the line of scrimmage that he didn't like. Apparently a play designed to go in one place, and the defense is really stacked against it. As he goes with an audible, perhaps to a different running play in a different area to work that call took a little bit too long. And it's a skill that a reserve quarterback needs to work. You want him calling audibles and reading and doing it in a real game situation. There it took too long. 1st and 15 for the Huskies. They're 39. Eddie Crothers off the right side. Crothers gets over the 45 out to the 47-yard line. Picks up 8 on the play. They have 2nd down and 7. Of course, ideally what Bloomsburg would like to do now is just run that clock out with the score being what it is. And they have a chance to do that with the clock running at 3 minutes and 40 seconds to go.
I think the fans here enjoyed this one, Jim. Huskies had to rebound, and they certainly did significantly in the first half with 50 points. The faithful here at Bloomsburg enjoying the weather, enjoying the atmosphere of college football. Glad to see the Huskies back on track.
Dominic to Crothers again. Nice move at the line of scrimmage, breaking a tackle, spins over midfield, gets to about the Lock Haven 48-yard line before Eric Zachman can make the stop from his cornerback position for the Bald Eagles of Lock Haven.
I really like what I see out of Ed Carruthers. Huskies actually are 3 deep at tailback with 3 quality running backs. Be curious to see what he can do with the start under his belt, see what he can do against the first-team defense with the first-team offense blocking. He certainly has speed, fine moves. He can run well. Here I have him now with 28 yards on the 6 carries, but you can see the flash that he has. You can see the intensity that he runs with. I can understand why the Bloomsburg coaches are very impressed with this young man.
3rd down and 3. Bloomsburg at the Lock Haven 49-yard line. Crothers gets the call again off the left side, lost his footing in the open field, brought down at the line of scrimmage. Probably would have had the 1st down, but just tripped and fell.
I jinxed him.
Yeah, after all those accolades, that time with some running room, he's not able to do it. The Huskies will bring the punt unit on here.
Who is that punter, Jim?
Yeah, Jim McCaffrey gets his first opportunity of the afternoon. Of course, you know the story about McCaffrey. He's doing an internship in the Philadelphia area. Only comes to Huskies on weekends, and for a while thought that it was going to be a lost weekend for him. But he does get a chance to punt, standing back at his own 37-yard line. Gets the snap and gets the kick away. Nice kick. Fair catch, Steinbacher down at the Lock Haven 10 or 11-yard line. The Bald Eagles get it one more time with 1:44 to go in the football game. And Bloomsburg leading by a school record 64 points to none for Lock Haven.
See what they do in these final minutes. They'd like to generate some offense. They certainly would like to break the shutout, at least make something happen here. They're still going to go with the number 2 quarterback, I believe. Number 10, Nate Erdman, will be running this unit.
Stay with us immediately following our broadcast when we wrap it up here from Redmond Stadium. Dave Delbo will bring you updated on all the college football results from today on the Scoreboard Show. As Nate Erdman gives straight ahead, and the gain over the 15 out to about the 17-yard line. Straight ahead carry by Scott Fisher, the sophomore out of Carlisle. He picks up 3 on the play, or 7 I should say. Second down and 3 for the Bald Eagles at their own 17-yard line.
First carry of the year for Fisher. He busts up the middle and makes a nice gain.
Second down call coming. Again, Fisher the call, and he is hit hard right about the line of scrimmage. Not much doing as the clock will wind down, under a minute to go. Obviously, it's going to be a very, very difficult time for Lock Haven this season. They will drop to 0-3. They will have their home opener next Saturday night, taking on the Mountaineers of Mansfield in the PSAC crossover game. Right now, Lock Haven facing 3rd down and 3 on what may be the last play of the ball game. Backs in an open set. Erdman sets him down. Play action. Rolling to his left. Wants to pass. Does so. Incomplete. His man on the numbers, but then John Zalos made a good hit on the intended receiver, so it goes as an incompletion. It'll be a 3rd down with 20 seconds to go.
Zalos has played well here in the second half. We saw him bat a ball away on the previous drive. Here he comes up aggressively to separate the receiver from the ball. We're going to see a platoon change here, even though it's 4th down with only 20 seconds to go. Going to prevent the Huskies from getting any more by changing field position here. Different punter, number 4 in there doing the kicking, Jim.
Cliff Benoist, the sophomore from East Pennsboro, standing back at his 3-yard line, gets the snap, gets the kick away. Steve Foster gets a rare chance to return from his own 42-yard line, and he's gang tackled there with just 8 seconds to go in this football game.
Been a big one for the Huskies, Jim. They needed to rebound significantly after the tough game last week at Indiana. We wondered how the tenor of the season would go after such a defeat when they had such high hopes. But they did take it one step at a time. They obviously prepared very well for this particular opponent. Exploited the weaknesses, got the offense back on track. The defense has played a crackerjack game, really stuffing things. So the Huskies are back on it. They have momentum going into the rest of the season.
Kevin Visluski, the 3rd quarterback used by the Huskies, comes to the ball game, hands to Chris Robinson. Robinson gains a couple as the ball game comes to an end. With the final score, Bloomsburg University 64 and Lock Haven University nothing. We'll be back with the scoring and statistics.
nervous, man. Come on, he wants you. Now you're afraid. Now you're getting afraid. You gotta put out a back. Do it! Let's go low, baby! Let's go low, baby!
Alright.
That's good. Take another one. Go this way. Hold your hand. Go what?
Good night, you can have one. Go, we can hang up in your room.